How are you guys? I hope you're well. I have some words, some encouraging words, testimony, all of the above. I'm on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Periscope. Hello. Hi, guys. So, okay, so Instagram. Good evening, good evening. We're going to talk about the power of your choices. And, I just have to tell you a little bit about my choices and where it has led me. And I hope this is going to encourage you because it's a good word for sure. And it's not just a word that I have read, or it's something that I have lived and experienced. So that's, the only way that we can speak on the real truth is going through something and then being able to speak on it. I think anything else is not the way to speak if you haven't experienced it. Hi. Okay, so it's been crazy the last few years for me. Hi, everyone. No, it's crazy. Okay, so Facebook, Periscope, Instagram, YouTube. All right. So, okay. I know some of you know my story. A few years ago, I was just doing things that I love. Okay, I had my It Works business, which I love, and I was doing so good at that. And then I did yoga, which that is my thing. I seriously love yoga, and I was I was trying to find peace, okay, because I was going through a lot of stress and a lot of ups and downs, and I thought that I had found that. And it was so strange because a lot of my peace came from meditation, right? So I was just meditating and not on anything, just on like life and finding peace. Okay, so that's what I was really using meditation for, was stress, but it brought me so much peace when I would meditate. And so it's just funny how we use these words, and they come to mean different things to different people. And that is something that we all need to be careful of, because that is what I have experienced in the last few years, that words, you should quarrel over words. So, one second. Okay, so these were all things that I loved, and I was going through such a stressful time, being a single mom and not having enough money and everything that is life, right? And what I was doing was bringing me peace and joy and just love, and good things were starting to happen to me. So, I was just following along that road, and I became what I thought was psychic. Okay, so I was hearing what I thought was from God. And it's really funny because now that I look back, I see that even from as a child, like I would know things, not all kinds of things, but just I would know things before that they would happen. And even when I was a kid, I was ostracized for that and told that, oh, I don't know, that doesn't seem right, things like that. So I just kind of put that away, and I just was like, okay, I'm not that then, So as I was older and just went through kind of a stressful time, I became very psychic, and everything that I was meditating on was towards God and, just peace and happiness and health and joy. And good things were starting to happen. But like I said, I started becoming psychic, and to the point where it was like a little bit freaky, you know, like I was really hearing from God, but yet, you know, I was still had this concern out there that maybe it wasn't. And so, you know, I want to tell you that everything in me felt love and peace and joy and freedom and happiness. And I was following on the path that was for me. And, you know, when I got to a certain point of following on that path, and, you know, I was using tarot cards as well. And those were pretty much just for me as like confirmation. A lot of the messages on those cards were of peace and happiness and love and joy, and really just confirmation of what I thought that I was hearing from God. And really, when I would pull cards for myself, they would be confirmation. Okay. So as I was following on this path, and there was this one specific incident where I was going to Morongo Casino, and you know, if you read the Bible, God puts you through tests to test your faith, which is your belief, okay? And I started going through a lot of testing at that casino, and I was just like tripped out because it was so supernatural, okay? It was so supernatural that I thought that something was wrong with me. And I started hearing voices in my head that instantly said that what was happening to me was not of God, and it was evil. And so as soon as I aligned myself with that pattern of thinking, that is when, and basically it was fear. So I was aligning myself with fear and unbelief and doubt, right? Because before that, I believed that it was love and light and God, and it was peaceful. I mean, everything and good things were coming my way, like favor and everything. And so as soon as I aligned with that fear and unbelief, that is when basically it was literally like sudden destruction hit me. And I thought that, you know, that evilness was coming after me, and I was literally running for my life at that point. And I fell, and I hit rock bottom at that point, because I was so afraid of what was out there in this world that I almost lost my mind. Like I was this close to actually going insane, to where I would not have come back. But thank you, God, for grace. And so from that point forward, I latched on to what I knew was God, in that Jesus and more following church and that sort of thing. And you know what is so funny is, like, seriously, God is so good, okay? And he literally showed me from the last 2 years of that moment of impact, of destruction, how, you know, in the Bible, it literally says that the fruit of the Spirit of God is peace, love, joy, you know, happiness, self-control, perseverance, which means, you know, not giving up, belief. One of the biggest things in the Bible is belief. And see, that is exactly where I lost it, where before, I mean, I didn't even have any doubt in my mind. So the last 2 years, you know, I have been going on this path of Jesus Christ and more church, and which never was me before. Okay, so this is the weird thing about the whole thing. And I'm so excited to tell you this, because what I have been through to actually even say this with knowing that it is truth has been incredible. And anyone who knows my journey on either side knows that this is all 100% truth, because I actually lived through these experiences. So, okay, so as I was following more the church and doing all that, I have to tell you that, and any person that was doing this, it was all internal, because I was so, like, I had seen what I thought was evil and what was good. And everything that I had known in my life before, I thought was evil. Oh my goodness, can you even imagine? Like, I literally thought that I was pure evil, that everything that I was following in my life before was evil, and I could not grasp what was happening to me. I really couldn't. And so as I was following more of Jesus and I'm reading more of the Bible, a lot of it would bring me fear. But not only that, is that I started to fear other things. Like, I would fear yoga. I was like, oh, I can't do that. That's evil. That's not good. And then, no, I can't be around these people because they don't believe, they don't believe in Jesus. So I can't be around them because they're not good. And then, it was like every little thing in life, it started to just like limit and limit and limit and limit, because even my kids, like, I was literally cutting them down to having almost nothing. And I could see how I was actually putting them in a prison. Like, you can't play video games. Okay, everyone knows, like, I started going down this path crazy because I saw what I thought was good and evil. And you guys, I was so blinded. Anyway, so I wouldn't play video games. I wouldn't let them watch certain shows. I was fearful that they were going to get, bad impressions in their mind. And as I started kind of going up more with the Bible, it was almost like it was complete. It says so many times, like, Jesus Christ himself says, like, love one another. But yet I'm like, okay, well, I don't understand. Like, am I supposed to love just these people, or am I supposed to love everybody? And how he literally, like, goes nuts on people that are hypocrites. And I was like, well, like, I don't even understand. Like, I'm the hypocrite. Like, what? So I have, like, I would go in and out of this, what I thought was right and wrong. Whereas before, like, none of that even played me at all. But yet, when I got to that one certain moment where I was at, it was like, literally, I saw pure evil. And so I was just like, oh my gosh. So, okay, going more down the church side, and in the last 2 years, Jesus himself, literally, he's the way in the life, has literally brought me out of this pit of seeing between good and bad, right and wrong. And it's so amazing because, so everyone knows that I've been following Jesus since that moment, because I didn't know what else to do. And it's crazy because he brought me to the exact same moment that I was at before. And it was like, you need to go to Morongo Casino. And I was like, what? No. I can't do that. That's not good. That's evil. I can't. What are you talking about? Whoa. And then I started to question what I'm following again. Like, none of it makes sense. And then, so what started rising up in me again was fear. Okay. And you guys, fear is not of God. And this is the most amazing thing, is that I knew that, right? So I was able to battle against it this time, and I was like, no. And I knew that I had to go to Morongo again, okay? Because how? I could never truly be free if I didn't go and at least walk through every moment that I was at before. And I mean, the fear that came over me, just even thinking about going, was like insane. And I was like, I can't go down this path again. So I was like, I'm going to trust in God this time. He protects me, okay? So this fear that I'm feeling is false. And because he's my protector, he is our protector. God is the creator of the heavens and earth and everything in it. And I actually saw that scripture right before I would go to the casino again. And it says, I am the creator of the earth and all things in it. And he says, I created the dark and the light. And I'm your protector. So don't be afraid. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to have to go. So I went, and you know what? I had the most amazing time. My kids and I had the entire Morongo pool, the entire lazy river, the entire spot, the entire pool, the entire gardens that were there to ourselves. It was amazing. And then we went to dinner at the restaurant there at the very top of the Morongo Casino, which, oh my goodness, the views are spectacular. Okay, and the entire time while I was there, I felt peace and calm and joy. And you know what? It was just God saying, see, you know, when you feel those fear moments, you have to push past them. Why? Because you believe that God is going to protect you, that nothing is going to harm you. And, you know, ever since I fell from that moment, I literally felt like I was prophetic. And because I could hear from God again, you know, I started hearing from God very clearly again. And people would, you know, say like, wow, like I literally see God moving in your life. Like he does things. And I'm like, I know, I don't know. And, you know, it was crazy because I really thought that because I had turned from my whole entire old life, that's why. But no, that's not why. So I've come to this point right now, and just the last few days since I got back from Morongo, I literally started hearing from God the same way that I used to when I said that I was psychic. Okay, and it freaked me out. Okay, God is going to push you past every comfort zone that you have. And I started to panic again, and I was like, oh my gosh, have I been, this is the whole time, you know? And, but no, see, God literally spoke to me and said, no, it was me the whole time. He said, just because, he said, do you think that I am that small? Oh my goodness, I was putting limitations on God. You guys, wow, like really? He was like, do you think that I am that small? He's like, I'm the creator of the heavens and the earth. He said, okay, so the first time I used tarot cards for your confirmation, but you were still calling me God, and you were still hearing from me, right? And you were following peace and love and joy. And then as I'm following Christ, I came to the exact same moment and hearing from God as loud as I do. And he was like, it was always me. The reason that you, and he said, even with Jesus, you're following peace and love and happiness, and good things are starting to happen, right? And I was like, oh my goodness, like I'm that, like I literally was limiting God. So basically, so now he's like, so this time I just use the Bible for your confirmation because you were always hearing from me, but this time you use the Bible to get confirmation that you were hearing correctly. And you still called me God, but we call it prophetic, instead of psychic. And he's like, it's these words that we use most of the time don't mean what you think that they mean, or putting limitations on God. And so now I've come to this moment where everything that I used to believe and the Bible, it all flows as one and makes sense. Because before, I always loved everyone. I never thought anyone was bad or good. They were just good. And, God's like, you can go back and do yoga. Are you afraid of it? Yeah, go do it. Because I'm God. And I say you can. And you love it. So go do it. I just had to speak my story, because if you are being, and I was being super hypocritical, and I myself was putting bondages on myself and my kids for what was good and what was bad. And I mean, do you see that? Like, wow. And literally God delivered me himself of all of that by pushing me past my comfort zone, past my limits, getting me to not worry about certain words, and not listening to what other people say is good or bad. So, he says that you will know them by their fruits. Okay, you'll know truth from error by their fruits. That is, the truth is love, unity, peace, joy, perseverance, self-control. On the other end, those fruits are envy, jealousy, anger, isolation. That was my big one. And so, and I just want to say, when I was more like on the new agey side and all that, I was super fearful of Christians and church and all that. And then when I was